Alright, I'm going to put a little bit of oil on my hands. I always keep the oil right here handy, and then your hands will not stick to the loaf of bread. Now this is going to be enough to make my meals for the week. So first of all, I would decide what am I going to make. And if you look in your cookbook, you have the plan. If you follow this plan, we have the plan for the week is on Monday we have Mexican food. So what I do is I pull off a lump of dough for each person in the family so that I can make them a chalupa. You know, we just copy the name of chalupa from Taco Bell, but it's probably not even a real Mexican dish, but it's a fast food American Mexican dish. And so we just roll those. I have those ready, and we might roll them out now, or we might roll them out, freeze them and roll them out at the time we're going to have dinner, but either way. So, okay, so there's my Monday Mexican meal. Then Tuesday we have pitas. So I'm going to just pull that off, and exactly the same size. And I'm already starting to stick to my dough here, so I should probably put more oil on my hands. But that's when the oil container gets really sticky, is when you pick it up with doughy hands. You have to go back and wash the bottle. Okay, so there's some for pitas. So what I'm doing is I have one for myself, one for each of my little guys, my little kids, and then two for my husband. So that should be enough. Then we're going to make Wednesday hamburger buns. And so we're going to go ahead and put 5 aside for that. Now you think, okay, that's not going to be a very big hamburger bun. But I have little tiny guys, and so I can make the hamburger the size I want it, and I can make the bun the size I want it. So then it doesn't have to be like a ton of wasted food and leftover pizza. I go ahead and pull off a lump the size of a cantaloupe, and that's just about right for pizza. So I'll set that aside. There's pizza. And then Saturday and Sunday is when I have rolls with the soup. I might make bread sticks. So I think I'll make bread sticks this time because that'll be really fun. And I'll show you what bread sticks look like. And so what we do with bread sticks is we just kind of let it get thicker and, bigger and bigger and bigger. Then I come back and I cut it with a pizza cutter before we bake it, and then it makes a really nice bread stick. But anyway, that's that idea. And then we'll go over and put them on the pan. Alright, so I'm going to bring this over to my pans. And the first thing I do is, if I was going to make breadsticks, which I am, I would go ahead and just put some cornmeal down. And this cornmeal is cornmeal I made myself from sprouted popcorn. And that probably sounds weird, but popcorn is the only form of corn that is able to sprout. And so you can take a popcorn, put it in a quart jar like we did all the other sprouts. It sprouts, then you dry it out, you grind it up, and you have cornmeal. And I can use that cornmeal for corn tortillas or for chips or whatever I want to make out of cornmeal. Now I'm going to make this breadstick idea. I'm just going to take it in my hands, and it gets kind of bigger and bigger and bigger like a pizza. And this will be really fun to have with any kind of soup or salad or anything like that. Just let it fill the whole pan. That's good enough. They don't have to be perfect at all. Breadsticks can be just about anything, any shape. And this could also be focaccia bread or anything like that. It just has to do with how you cut it up and what kind of things you put on it. going to top it with some what I call seasoned seed mix. It's in the cookbook, and it's got poppy seeds, sesame seeds, and then some garlic, the big chunky dry garlic, and dried onion chunks, and what else? I think that's it. And then we'll just go ahead and top the bread with this, and it makes the whole house so yummy smelling. And then if you want to add a little salt, we always like more salt than most people, so I just go ahead and salt it, but you wouldn't have to at all. But salt is always good. And then I just go ahead and press it in there so that it won't come off when people start to bite into it. Doesn't that look delightful? All right, and then, now these are going to pull apart really easily because they're going to be already cut before they're even baked. And I can't get close enough to cut the top and the bottom, so that's okay. When you go to serve them, it'll be fun because when you put it on the plate, everything will be still together, and then you can pull them apart. And the kids love stuff like that, where they get to pull it apart. So I'm going to let these rise for 30 minutes, and then pop them in the oven and bake them. And these, we can decide right now if we have enough time to go ahead and roll them out flat now, or are we going to freeze them as balls and then roll them out each day as we go. But since I have a little bit of time right now, I'm going to go ahead and roll them out flat now. So I have these little mats that I keep ready to go, and they're always in there so I can have lots of services and not mess up my table. And then I will cover it with some flour. This is our own flour that we just ground in the grinder, and we just get them really flat already with our hands and lay that aside. Then we'll come back and hit it with a couple of times, roll it a couple of times with a rolling pin. If you get a little bit of flour on it, it won't stick to your hands at all.